Good evening, everyone. My name is Diane Canny. I'm the Director of Enrollment at Ohio State Newark. Thank you for joining us this evening. We do have a facilitator with us tonight, and unfortunately his audio is a little bit funky right now, so we decided that I would do this intro and then roll right into my presentation tonight. Students, again, we want to thank you for joining us for this OACAC event. We want to remind you that if you do want to ask questions, you can do so by typing your question in the Q&A box that you'll see typically at the bottom of your screen. And I do have a staff member who is along with me tonight. That's Wes Grundon, and he will be answering your questions as I present. Students, your camera and your microphone are off, and they will remain off during the session. We do encourage you to sign up for more sessions. We hope you'll get a lot out of tonight and value it so much that you'll come back and join us again. And keep in mind that all recorded sessions, or I should say all sessions, are recorded and will be available at oacac.org at your leisure. And so we really encourage you to check out that website and look for recordings of all your favorite schools and universities. But without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump right in to our presentation tonight. And I've got a full slate of things to talk to you about, as you can imagine. If you've ever seen me talk, I like to talk. So again, welcome students. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Diane Canny. I'm the Director of Enrollment at Ohio State Newark. It's my pleasure to be with you tonight. And before we actually officially get started, I do have something here that I would like to read. And that is, as members of the Ohio State University, we condemn anti-Black racism and racism in all its forms. We are committed to engaging, interrupting, and dismantling institutionalized racist structures. Ohio State's mission to prepare students to be leaders and engage citizens calls us to demand and support change. You can learn more about the work of Ohio State at go.osu.edu/addressing racism. So students, let's talk a little bit about the pathways to a degree from The Ohio State University, because that's why you're here tonight. I know you want to learn a little bit more about a regional campus, and I do appreciate you taking the time to invest in a regional campus of The Ohio State University. Now, what you're going to find at Ohio State and at Ohio State Newark is we offer you the chance to start on our campus and finish in Columbus. And that is a seamless process. You'll be a Buckeye from day one on our campus. And the great thing is you can start on our campus actually cheaper than starting on the Columbus campus, if that is your hope to be a Buckeye. You would simply enroll on our campus, complete 30 credit hours after high school graduation, and maintain that 2.0 grade point average on our campus. And after that time, typically 2 full-time semesters, you can campus change. You submit paperwork with your academic advisor's assistants, and off you go to Columbus. It is a seamless process, and certainly the majority of our students actually do just that. They finish in Columbus. Now, what you're going to find is the same degree, the same diploma. It is going to be from The Ohio State University. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you finish your degree. It will be from The Ohio State University. And guess what? No one's ever going to know that you started on a regional campus unless you want them to know that fact about you. Let's talk a little bit about our campus. And I want to first encourage you to visit us in our virtual tour at go.osu.edu/visit Newark. I think that's a great way to get to know any college campus. And certainly ours is very beautiful. As you can see here, it's 200+ acres. I miss it every day. We just realized we've been telecommuting from home for 6 months just recently. So there are about 7 academic buildings here on our campus for students, and it really depends on your major, how many of those buildings you might experience during your time with us. Adena Hall is a building that you will definitely experience. I hope that you'll definitely experience it as a student on our campus. It is our recreation center. As you can see from the 2 women in the photo here, there's lots to do. There's treadmills, there's free weights, there's bikes, you name it, we've got it in Adena Hall. And it is fairly new to our students. It's about 3 years beyond renovation. And my goodness, the investment we made, it was over a $2 million investment, and our students love it every day. In addition to the free weights and the other equipment that you see here, we also have a multi-purpose room that includes a Wellbeats virtual trainer. And we're all used to being virtual in these weird times. And so you do have access to a virtual trainer who could put you and your friends through a spin session or through Zumba or aerobics. McConnell Hall is one of our newest buildings on campus. It is one of our residence halls. It includes traditional residence hall spaces, and I'll talk a lot more about McConnell here in a few minutes, but this just opened in 2018, so it's still brand new to us, and it is a beautiful facility inside for students. The Side Dome at the Works was a partnership between Ohio State Newark and The Works, which is located in downtown Newark. This is an actual professor of ours, Dr. Stamatikos, and he teaches an astronomy course at the Side Dome at the Works. It is a gorgeous facility, and you'd be lucky enough post-pandemic to take a course at the Works with Professor Stamatikos. The Alfred Center is coming in early 2021. We could not be more excited about this space. It is well under construction. It will actually open in March or April of 2021 and be available to students in the summer of 2021. What it brings to you and to our campus is 60,000 square feet. And it was a $32 million investment by Ohio State Newark in the lives of our students. Yes, we want to build additional residence halls and do other upgrades on campus, but this was priority number one, more space for students on campus. It will include 17 laboratory spaces and will include lots of space for faculty offices and lots of space for students just to hang out or to study. With that in mind, let's talk a little bit about our students, because sometimes students want to know, what do your students look like? Are they going to look like me? And indeed, they are going to look like you. Now, we are the largest of the regional campus of The Ohio State University. Last fall's enrollment was 2,943 students. We're just under that this year at 2,800 students. We enrolled students from 74 of Ohio's counties. And if there are any students this evening on this session with us from counties like Ashtabula or Ashland or Sandusky County, I certainly want you to enroll, because you're one of you reside in one of the 14 counties that's currently not on our campus, and we're eager to say that we enroll students from all of Ohio's 88 counties. We are the most diverse campus of The Ohio State University, and we're very proud to boast about that. Typically, our first year class is about 1,500 students. Like I mentioned, we are diverse, and we have space on campus for just 310 students. So we have limited residential space on campus. Yes, our students look just like you. They come traditionally right from high school and right to our community. So they are, 17, 18, 19 years old. And yes, as that young lady is holding there, you will carry that same Buck ID as every other Ohio State student on every other campus of The Ohio State University. Now, to academics, something that all students want to know a little bit more about. You can begin all of Ohio State's 200+ majors on our campus. Our average class size is 25 students. So unlike some of the larger institutions or even the Columbus campus of The Ohio State University, we're not going to have those large lecture spaces that some students want. And if you want that, that's certainly not what we have on our campus. State-of-the-art technology and some really cool things on our campus. This is an actual photograph of Dr. Roberts, who we affectionately call in our office the Spider-Man, because yes, he has a lot of research on spiders. He does a lot of research with tarantulas, and he has a spider lab actually just above my office in Founders Hall. He does have a spider lab. And what you're going to find from all of our faculty is a real commitment to research. And when they're doing that research and that scholarly writing, they are seeking out students just like you who will help them with that research and that scholarly writing. We have a lot of support for student success. I'll talk about that a little bit later. And of course, you have access to all of Ohio State's many resources. You can actually complete 9 academic majors on our campus, 3 in education, as you can see there, business management, English, history, nursing, RN to BSN, and psychology and social work. Now on to student life. Yes, we have learning communities, and oftentimes students don't understand what a learning community is. To put it in a nutshell, it's like going to college immediately with a group of students who share a common interest with you or a common passion. For instance, I was a first-generation college student, and we have that Buckeye Generation Learning Community for first-generation college students. So I would have likely applied to that learning community. And also you can see we have one in engineering, Scarlet and Gray Excellence for students of color, teaching for those of you who are interested in education, and global citizens for everyone. The real benefit of these learning communities is it's a small cohort of students who will take classes. You'll have shared classes, shared experiences in and out of the classroom. And like I said, you'll share a common bed or a common bond, I should say, or a common thread in terms of sharing something that you're really passionate about or interested in. Student clubs and organizations, we boast every year of having 30+ clubs and organizations on our campus. So while the majority of our students are living off campus or at home, they're quite active on our campus with organizations ranging from student government, intramural sports, community service. What you're gonna find on our campus is there are 3 to 5 activities scheduled weekly for our students. They could be movies in the auditorium on campus, karaoke, trivia nights are very popular with our students. Now esports are very popular on campus. Dodgeball, when we can play things like that and be involved in team activities. Of course, right now we can't. And so right now we're really focused on individual pursuits like table tennis and like a football combine and a 3-point shooting contest. Those things are taking up the time of students right now versus those team sports that aren't necessarily the best thing to do during a pandemic. Another great opportunity for students is the honors program, which this year, for the coming year, will be combined with the Lefevre Fellows program. The honors program, of course, is for those of you who are looking for those enriched courses. You will get preferential access to to study abroad if you're selected for the honors program. You have a private student lounge, and of course, that honors designation on your diploma. Now, it is important for you to note, if you apply to the honors program and you are accepted on our campus, and then you transition to the Columbus campus later in your career as a college student, you do need to reapply for their honors program. Of course, this year, combining that with a Lefevre Fellows program that is really for students who are interested in community service and service learning, there's a scholarship attached to this, and you certainly want to seek out those scholarships. $750 per semester is available to students, and you should and will apply by April 15th if you're interested in that program. Education abroad when we're not in a pandemic is available on our campus. We will be taking a reprieve from this in the coming year, but typically Cuba, England, Germany, and Costa Rica are options from our campus. And that means that they're led by our faculty, and that means that you can go pretty cheaply as well. If you invest in one of those opportunities, you're going to pay no more than $1,000 per student. And if you need a passport, we'll actually help you pay for that as well. And of course, because you're enrolled on a campus of The Ohio State University, we can connect you to any program happening on any campus of The Ohio State University. I mentioned this a little while ago, support for student success. I love working for a university that really invests in the lives of its students, and Ohio State does just that. We have free tutoring on our campus. We have a math learning center. If any of you, like me, are horrible at math, I encourage you to look at that math learning center where you can find tutoring and assistance for homework and projects. And of course, we know that not every high school is preparing students to write college level writing and college level essays. And so we do have that writer studio to assist you in getting off on the right foot in terms of writing in college. You will be assigned an academic advisor as a first-year student, and you will make contact with that person during orientation the summer before you enroll on our campus. We do have a learning skills specialist, And if there's one thing I encourage all of you to do, it is to reach out to that individual, especially if you need help with study skills or time management skills. Seek out the help of our learning skills specialist. You will not be disappointed. And of course, disability services for those students who might need it. And if you do have a 504 plan or an IEP, we need for you to share those items with us and with the Disability Services Center before you take placement testing. So you want to share those items with us in April or May before you take placement testing in June or later in the summer. We do have personal counseling available on our campus for free for all students. Yes, you are a Buckeye from day one on our campus, and you will feel that. You will carry that same Buckeye ID as I mentioned before. Now, while a student at Ohio State Newark, you can rush a fraternity or sorority on the Columbus campus. You can also audition and be a part of the best damn band in the land. We've had lots of students be a part of the best damn band in the land in the most recent years. You have access to lots of Columbus events, including football tickets as well. The application and enrollment processes are pretty easy. I think it can be very easy if you will go to and visit apply.osu.edu. You pay that $60 application fee or provide us with a fee waiver. Request your official high school transcript to be sent to the Columbus campus for processing, and request that from your high school guidance counselor. And then keep in mind that you can only apply to one Ohio State campus at a time. And you must also graduate from a certified Ohio high school in order to be eligible to enroll on our campus. When you apply to the Ohio State Newark campus, you typically will receive an admissions decision within 3 weeks of application. Some important dates for you to keep in mind. Of course, that application for fall of 2021 is now open. And in a few short days, October 1st is when the free application for federal student aid becomes available. And that is something that you want to encourage your parents to process for you. And keep in mind that our deadline for that FAFSA is February the 1st. If you will be applying to the Columbus campus, keep in mind that their early action deadline is November 15th. And their regular decision deadline is February the 1st. And of course, again, if you are applying to that Columbus campus, I've also listed their admissions decision release date, so you can be on the lookout for those emails. Keep in mind that if you are not admitted to the Columbus campus, you will automatically be admitted to the campus of your selection. If you are in the Newark area or in Central Ohio and you don't select another regional campus, you will be admitted to the Newark campus. And of course, after tonight, we hope that all of you who complete the application will select the Newark campus as your second choice option if you are applying directly to the Columbus campus. And of course, the admissions decisions that you'll receive from the Columbus campus include admitted either to the Newark campus directly or to the Columbus campus. You may also be deferred, which means they're going to wait to make a decision on your application until mid to late March. And of course, students, sometimes you'll be waitlisted, and that means that in March, you will get a chance to remain on the waitlist in Columbus. And our only hope for you is that you call our office so that we can alert you of deadlines you could miss if you wait and remain on that waitlist in Columbus. Doesn't mean we're going to try to switch you over to Ohio State Newark. We're simply going to educate you on what you might miss if you do remain on that waitlist. Tuition and fees. One of the most important things I get to share with you is that, yes, we are a bargain in terms of what you get on our campus, that small college sort of liberal arts feel, and then all the resources that Ohio State has to offer at a value of $8,237 this year. Of course, if you add on to that room and board on campus, of course, you're looking at something between $15,000 and $20,000, again, if you are residing on campus. If you're commuting from home, of course, you can save a lot of money. The Ohio State University has a real commitment to affordability, and this was started several years ago by President Drake, and I certainly hope that it will continue. We have that 4-year tuition guarantee so that when you start on a campus of the Ohio State University, you are locked into that tuition rate, excuse me, for 4 years. We also have the Buckeye Opportunity Program. For those of you who might qualify for the federal Pell Grant, If you do qualify for the federal Pell Grant, you will pay $0 to enroll at the Ohio State University because of that Buckeye Opportunity Program. President Drake's affordability grants are $1,250 per year for regional campus students. And Ohio State has really made a commitment the last several years to eliminate its course fees. And we're already eliminating fees of about 70% of our courses. Scholarships, yes, we have plenty of scholarships. Literally last year, we had over $1 million available to students who enrolled on our campus. You must, of course, first be accepted to our campus. The merit-based scholarships are based upon your application for admission and your high school transcript. There's nothing else you need to do until you're selected as a finalist. And then we will be requiring you to write an essay. But until that time, we will evaluate every student who applies to the Ohio State University at Newark by January the 1st. We'll certainly evaluate you for a merit-based scholarship. Then we also have these endowed or special scholarships, and they're going to require you to submit a separate application. The applications are pretty brief, those students, and I do hope that you'll take a look at those. Those will be available on our website after January 1st, and we'll be sure to email you when those are ready. And of course, another reminder to ask your parents to submit that FAFSA by February 1st. Housing, as I mentioned earlier, we do have space for 310 students on our campus. We have both on-campus apartments and traditional spaces on our campus. There is a housing lottery. Just to make the situation fair for all students, we conduct a housing lottery in late April, and that just requires you to make sure you are admitted to Ohio State Newark by that time, and that you've paid your housing deposit of $350 and submitted that housing application. And if you've done all that, then you sit back and you just simply wait for the results of that housing lottery. McConnell Hall has the traditional rooms on campus, which means this is an actual photograph of an actual room, and that means you have the communal bathrooms and showers down the hall. McConnell Hall also includes a 300-person multi-purpose room, a Block O fire pit out front, and a sand volleyball court behind the building. The apartments on campus look just like the one here in this photo. You would be sharing this space with 3 to 5 other students, and they of course share bedrooms. You would be sharing the bedroom with 1 other individual, and then a bathroom and shower, living room, and a very nice kitchenette. They're actually very nice. The community of Newark is quite nice. It's the 16th largest city in Ohio. And students, lots of things happen in and around the city of Newark. You've got the Sci-Dome that I mentioned earlier, downtown, concert venues, outdoor adventures. But I'm going to be real with you tonight and say that everything that you need is about 2 miles or less from campus, and that's everything on 21st Street. 21st Street includes things like Chipotle, you're going to have that, and Kroger, pharmacies, Walmart. Everything that you need is literally within 2 miles of campus. So let's summarize a few of the benefits of enrolling at Ohio State Newark. Of course, you are part of Buckeye Nation from day one on our campus. And if you don't know this already, all new first-year students do receive a free iPad, and that is part of the Apple connection that we have in the Apple program. We have a nice partnership with the Apple organization. The STEP program, this is something I just want to plant a seed with all of you tonight and talk with you a little bit about this STEP program. It is for second-year students on any campus of the Ohio State University, but man, is it a great opportunity. You will learn life skills in a small group of students with a faculty member who's not teaching you, they're mentoring you. And if you complete that STEP program, you are then offered the opportunity to receive a stipend of $2,000 to do something related to an interest you have. For instance, we had a student who was very interested in photographing the national parks of the US, and he actually received a stipend to go do just that. Of course, a big part of being part of Buckeye Nation is access to everything that is Ohio State. Whether it's carrying that Buck ID and having dinner on the Columbus campus with friends, or checking out a book at the Thompson Library, or of course doing the same thing on the Ohio State Newark campus. And yes, if you pay your acceptance fee to Ohio State Newark by May the 1st, you will have access to those football tickets. We are the closest campus in proximity to the Columbus campus. That affords you a lot of opportunities, as I mentioned before, to be part of the band, to rush a fraternity or sorority, or just to hang out with your friends on the weekend if you want to. You will have a smooth transition to the Columbus campus as a part of our community. It doesn't get much smoother than completing 30 hours on our campus after high school graduation at or above a 2.0 GPA. You would then attend a campus change session. You would talk with your advisor. He or she will sign off on your paperwork, and off you go to the Columbus campus to finish your degree. There is no new application, and no one can keep you from enrolling on the Columbus campus. That's part of being part of our community immediately. Now, I also want to say, you have options, right? And students, you may be thinking, well, if I don't gain admission to the Columbus campus, I'm going to go somewhere else. And that's your right. My warning to you is to keep in mind that if you do that, immediately when you enroll on another college campus, you are then considered a transfer student for Ohio State, and you'll be put right back into that competitive admissions process for the Columbus campus when you apply as a transfer student. So that's just something to keep in mind. And of course, when you finish your degree, you will graduate in the shot or the shoe with every other classmate with you. I wanted to show you an actual photograph of the team that will be working with you. This is our team on the Newark campus. You might recognize some faces or some names there. And we certainly want to encourage you to reach out to us with your questions and connect with us. And of course, you can connect with us by doing a variety of things. You can visit us virtually, as you are doing tonight, in a Buckeye Visit Day sort of fashion. The only difference really between tonight and a Buckeye Visit Day would be we're going to show you a unique campus tour, and you're going to be able to connect with faculty members during our session. Of course, you can call us. We are available from basically 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. every day for your calls, and you can email us at newark-askabuckeye@osu.edu as well. And of course, we want to encourage you. We know all of you are on social media, so take advantage of the fact that we are out there too. We try to share some fun things. Our team is very creative. You go out there and look for our video that's highlighting and promoting our next Buckeye Visit Day, October 17th, and I think it'll put a smile on your face. Of course, we're on Twitter and Facebook and also Instagram. And with that, I will say thank you, and I will ask my colleague, Wes, if there were any questions that came up. Maybe there were some themes that I could address in person and live this evening.
Yes, thank you, Diane. And we didn't have too many questions coming in, but I do have one for you, and you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier in your presentation, but what does student life look like on campus with the COVID-19 restrictions, and can students still get involved?
That's a great question, Wes. And yes, students can still get involved. They are involved on campus. And what you're finding right now, as I described earlier, are a lot more of the individual activities. Like, I know that our student life office did recently a grab and go for Build-A-Bear. And so, no, you can't sit down with 20 friends and build a bear, but you could come into the student life office, grab a bag that included everything you needed to build your own bear, go back to your own space and Zoom in and join friends and make new friends via Zoom by making and building that bear. And so we're trying to be creative with the activities that we do have for students. And just last week, students were granted permission to gather in groups of 10 or less. So student activities are happening on campus now in groups smaller than 10. And as I mentioned earlier, in terms of those other activities, think about anything that you can do singly, and those activities are happening on our campus. And of course, life is very different for students in a non-pandemic situation. It is very much flourishing on campus in terms of activities that our students can and do get involved in.
Great, thank you, Diane. And I didn't see any other questions coming in, but I did have one final one for you. And it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the juggling that you must do as you begin your senior year of high school, and you also are leaping into your college search. So Diane, what are the priorities that the students out there should be considering right now?
Another great question. And students, I realize this is a very unique situation for all of you, and that you are navigating a college search to colleges and universities that you can't typically visit. I don't think any of us are allowing visitors to campus in the typical sense of the word. But what you can do is take advantage of what we are offering you. I would Zoom in and join any of us for our events. Get a flavor for what's out there and make your college list and start your applications. It is not too early to start applying to colleges and universities. In fact, as I mentioned to you, the deadline for the Columbus campus early action deadline is November 15th. That's going to be here before you know it. And certainly I know that colleges and universities across the US have early deadlines just like that. And so I would encourage you to make sure you're polishing your applications, getting those ready to be sent, and then take advantage of all these virtual events. And no one says that you can't come to campus and drive around or be safe and just walk around yourself. I certainly encourage you to investigate some colleges and universities like that. Certainly, wear your mask and keep your distance from others. That's what we expect all of our students and faculty and staff to do. And as I mentioned earlier, on October the 1st, I believe that's Thursday of this week, the FAFSA opens. And so you want to be nudging and helping your parents to fill out that FAFSA so that you can meet our February 1st deadline as well. So if there aren't any other questions, then I will say I so appreciate your time tonight. Again, connect with us, call us, ask us questions. Ask your neighbors and friends about Ohio State and about the regional campuses. And I think you'll learn that there are a lot of people out there that have had very positive experiences. In fact, a third of all Ohio State students start on a regional campus. So you would not be alone if you decided to start your college experience at Ohio State Newark. And with that, I will say thank you. And we'll see. Yes, I have a quick roundup here to give you in terms of the next steps for you. When we do end this session, then you will be asked to complete a survey. It's quick. It's only going to take you a few minutes. It's 4 questions. So we ask you to please do that. And certainly we want you to continue to engage in these sessions at www.oacac.org. As I mentioned, all sessions are recorded and they'll be live for you, or I should say they'll be available to you if you can't reach the session in person. And with that, I will just say we wish you the best and go Bucks.